if you're just coming in, we just finished reading The Untethered Soul, Chapter 11, Pain, the Price of Freedom. And I think this chapter resonated with me so much because I can identify with having a fear of pain when I was a child growing up. And my hair is like all over my face. Um, and I'm just grateful that I worked through that. So, shall we? What do I want to show y'all right now? What I want to show y'all though is this. Okay, so here are key points from today's discussion. And the Padlet questions, if you would like to know what today's questions are, then you go look inside the Padlet. And I'll show them at the end of our discussion. I always do, but if you want to see what they are now and get a head start, then go ahead and grab them now from the Padlet. All right, where we are. So some key points that were important for me that I pulled out. Change and growth are perceived as painful, so we avoid it, right? And it's like, that was so profound. It's so simply put, but it was so profound for me. Um, hmm, hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Change and growth being perceived as painful, so we avoid those experiences. And it made me think of growing pains. Physical development sometimes is physically uncomfortable. Like when toddlers are teething and their teeth are cutting through their gums, like it's a painful experience for them, right? That's why they're like crying and they need their gums to be soothed, but it's a part of their growth. Now we seem to be able to accept this more with physical growth, but we don't seem to really, we collectively, when I say we, just like when we never ever talk about no one on a personal tip unless we are talking about ourselves. But we don't tend to like really think about that from a like psychological pain perspective. Am I here? Or am I in the matrix? Okay. We don't really think about that from a psychological pain perspective. So we have developed this fear around it, and we avoid feeling it on all levels when we can, or try to avoid feeling it on all of those mental levels. It's perceived as a change. Remember, is perceived as a painful experience. It's perceived as being painful. That's important. We are conditioned to believe that it is going to be a painful experience, and we are conditioned to avoid the pain. Another key point, we don't have to like how inner disturbance feels in order for us to be able to use it to help us grow. So for me, it made me think about ways that we can examine, we read about this in the previous parts of the book. Like, we get so wrapped up about our preferences, what we like and what we don't like. And it's like, for the purpose of our growth, how much does what we like and don't like matter? I might not like the way a certain vegetable tastes, but I can acknowledge that it might have tremendous health benefits. So getting caught up in the preference of it all, the likes and don't likes, that's how we orient children to food, right? Do you like how it tastes? You like it? And when they don't like it, and we laughing, and you know what I mean, because they spit it out their tongue because they don't like how it tastes. So what? So what? So what? It's good for you. Sometimes the things that we might not like how it tastes or feel or how it's going down, we resist it. Tastes nasty, so I want to spit it out. You know? Okay, so that made me think of that. And remember, y'all, feel free to interact with me if you have anything to say, or chime in if it makes if any of my key points resonate, or if you want to add your own key points, whatever. Or whatever you're thinking about this, you can share as well. What else did I want to say? Um, we spend a lot of time and energy avoiding what we don't like, yeah, and clinging to what we do like, but how does it help us grow? Um, and then there's a quote right here on page 99 where he says, "Your entire personality is built upon ways of being, thinking, acting, and believing that were developed to avoid this pain." And for that, we talked about this before. Internal family systems. I think his name is Richard Schwartz. Is the practitioner who established this, and it is basically talking about how there's a core. There's the core of us, but then all of these protective parts developed because somewhere along the way we learned and began to accept that it wasn't okay for us to just be the core of who we are. So I thought about that when he said your entire personality is built upon ways of speaking, being, doing things. Have you ever heard of code switching? When you go to work and you talk a different way than you may talk when you at home, because what are you avoiding by doing that? What are you avoiding by not speaking in the way that you would normally speak at home? Or I reverse it for me. When I was a child, I was told that I talk white. I don't even know what that means. But I was told that I talk white, and then I asked my people what that meant, and they said, "Oh, they're saying that you speak properly," and they're teasing you for that. They're teasing you. They want to make you feel bad about that because you don't talk like the culture. I did learn how to speak like that. Why do you think I learned how to talk like this? How do you think I learned how to code switch? Why do you think it became important for me to learn how to talk like this? Because somewhere something happened. Something happened, right? I had an experience where I was made to feel that it wasn't okay for me to express myself in the way that I naturally do. You know what I'm saying? So now the way that now I do it in a combination. Okay? Come on now. Now I'm too cool with it. But that's where that came from. What else did I want to add from this? Okay, pain radiates from the core of the heart, and from now I'm going to switch to a different modality, human design. Remember, the heart, in the heart resides what in human design we call the magnetic monopole in quantum human design, not traditional. The magnetic monopole, it attracts like a magnet to the heart that which is already radiating from the heart. So if you're radiating, if there's pain in the heart and that's what's being radiated, you're going to attract more painful experiences. And it's not because you're being punished. Perhaps it is an opportunity to work through that painful experience. Anything else on this page? Let me see. Let's keep going. Yeah. So fear of pain at the foundation of the psyche. This question is on the Padlet, I think, too. But if you're with me and you're listening, type in the chat some common ways that physical pain comes up, and as a bonus, add the things that what we might do to avoid it. I'm talking about like a headache, right? We might if you want to have a chili cheese dog, but you suffer from heartburn, indigestion. So to avoid feeling the pain, you might take a Tums before you have the chili cheese dog. So humor me. Type some of those things in the chat. Some of those physical pain points that come up that we do our best to avoid. We create scenarios in life to help us avoid feeling inner pain, which becomes a link that holds the potential for the pain you're avoiding. Ooh, that was so poignant. How does it become a link? How does me protecting myself from pain then become a link to that pain? Well, he gives an example. What example he gave about, like, when you call a friend to go to a movie and your motive for calling was not to spend time with them or to see the movie, but was to satisfy your feeling of loneliness or a self-esteem issue. Here's my personal example. Back in the day, when I used to get a regular sew-in weave with like Brazilian bundles. I'm not Brazilian, okay? But I would get my hair done to look like I was, or whatever I think that's supposed to look like based on the hair texture and type, right? Why am I doing that? I was doing that, silly me, right? Not silly, but just a different version of me. I was doing that to avoid the pain of not feeling acceptable or attractive with my natural hair. Professionally, it was better for me to have my hair not like this at a time. Or so I felt, or so I thought. So to avoid avoid the pain of, not being selected for opportunities, or not feeling attractive, or not, I was getting a sew-ins. Now, if I was ever in a position where I couldn't maintain getting a sew-in, I would begin to feel the source of that pain come up. The source of the pain is me not feeling comfortable or happy with my natural hair and being empowered to present myself in that way. That's the issue. Solving it, I don't solve the issue with putting a sew-in in. I solved the issue with embracing my natural hair, which is what I did during the 2020 shutdown. I was not able to go get my hair done at the salon. I couldn't go get my weave put back in. I couldn't let it just grow out and sit there hanging out looking crazy. So I had to take it out, and I had to learn how to work with my hair naturally. And I am so grateful for that experience and that journey. That's an example of how the pain can become a link to the protection become a link to the pain itself, from my personal experience. And then avoiding the pain builds up layers of insecurity. So now I've avoided the pain, so now I've built up these layers of insecurity. Let's continue with that same example of the sew-in. So now I have the sew-in, but now I'm conscious, like making sure that my track isn't showing. Right? There's another layer of insecurity that I had to always make sure that the tracks are not showing and it's perfect. Or I have to always make sure that the leave out, that's the part that covers up the track so it don't show, that the leave out don't get too poofy so that it blends right, so it looks more like the weave that's not my real hair, right? Now there's extra layers of insecurity built up around what I've done to protect myself from pain in the first place. We good? We good with that? Thank y'all for listening and vibing. We have a little bit more. I know that y'all there. I'm pretty sure that y'all must be busy in the Padlet because y'all mighty quiet. Why did I put? What is this posted for though? What is this posted related to? Things that I don't know why I wrote this here. I'm trying to remember. Okay, yeah. Okay, this part where he says, even though the actual events causing rejection are infrequent, you will have to deal with the fear of rejection all the time. Okay, what this made me think of. Do I need to go back a little bit more so y'all can know what I'm referencing? The psyche is built upon avoiding this pain, and as a result, it has fear of pain at its foundation. That is what caused the psyche to be. To understand this, notice that if the feeling of rejection is a major problem for you, you will fear experiences that cause rejection. That fear will become part of your psyche. Even though the actual events causing a rejection are infrequent, you will have to deal with the fear of rejection all the time. That made me think about back in the day as children. I used to, They used to always. I was always the one, y'all. And if you was the one after I say this, type I was the one in the chat if it was you as well. I was always the one when I was at someone's house, like one of my peers, a relative peer who was my age, or like a friend from school, schoolmate, classmate, churchmate. I was always the one that would be like, they tap me, go ask her that we want to do something. We want to go outside, or we want to have extra time to do this, or we just want to do something that, and they think that if they ask, the answer is going to be no. Joy, go ask her for me. She going to say yes to you. You know she going to say no to me, right? Where did that come from? You didn't even ask her yet. You don't know what type time the teacher is on. You don't know, the teacher probably want a break too. She probably is going to be excited to let us stay outside for extra recess because she don't really want to go back inside and teach. You ain't asked her, and you have built up this fear of being rejected because you've been rejected before. Why is that? I don't know. Probably because of how you've been living your life. Because your present moment is the sum of all the deeds that you've done and you've put out there. So if in your present moment we're in a situation where you feel like the teacher is going to say yes to me and no to you, why? It's because you might think that your reputation is not, you don't have a good track record with her because of how you've been behaving. See how you haven't contributed to that, and it has nothing to do with like her or me. Like, you see what I'm saying? I know y'all feeling me. I know y'all are. Another poster that I wrote when I read this on my own was keep continuing. If you are doing something to avoid pain, then pain is running your life. All your thoughts and feelings will be affected by your fears. You will come to see that any behavior pattern based upon the avoidance of pain becomes a doorway to the pain itself. If you are afraid of being rejected by someone, you approach that person with the intention of winning their acceptance. You're skating on thin ice. What I wrote there was, the energy that you enter into something with is the energy that you want to engage with while you're there. So if you enter a situation like all timid and scared and shy and not really sure of yourself, even if you are invited to be there, you're not going to show up like you're supposed to be there, because you're entering into it like not questioning yourself and having that self-doubt. Like, the energy that we start with is how you finish. I think that was one of our January affirmations, right? How I start is how I finish. That's some real shit. Let me see, we got anything else? What's up? Was you the one, Juice? You were the one where they was always like, ask her for me? When you was at church or you was at school, you were the one that was tasked to go get had to go ask the question from the adults because you, yeah. Or if I was at someone house, you ask her because you're the guest. She not going to tell me yes because I live here. But if you ask her, she gonna say, yeah, we can have some. That type of shit. Are you saying you're back? Oh, all right. Well, when you go, that's how you say you're back. You want to tell me you're back, then you say you're back. You want to say you're back, then you say you're back. Okay. All right. Where we at? You want to wink? You wink. All right. Pain is a temporary shift in your energy flow. So, view it as energy that you get to release. Listen, y'all. A lot of this is just talking about energetic misalignment. Now, I know a lot of y'all be rolling your eyes when I start talking about energy. But look, it's okay. Everything is energy. So roll your eyes. But check this out though. On a physical level, on a 3D level, those of you who drive or live with someone who has a car, owns a car, if the light come on and tell you that the car needs an alignment, what are you going to do? You might roll your eyes and be annoyed that this has come up in your reality, and now you need to go fix it because now you got to maybe take off some time from work or other things that you would rather be doing to go and deal with this car issue. But you need the car, you need the vehicle to be working optimally to get you from A to B to continue to help you travel, journey through your life, right? So you do what needs to be done and you go take the car to the shop for an alignment. Nothing was it's not, discovering that there's a misalignment wasn't inherently wrong, right? That wasn't what was wrong. But something is going to continue to be wrong if you don't what? If you don't go take that car in for the adjustment, right? That's what's wrong. If the light come on and you keep ignoring the light, eventually you will not be able to use the car to do what you needed to do, working optimally to help you along your journey from point A, B, C, and throughout, right? Same thing with energetic misalignment. It's not inherently wrong. So let's look. Here's our pinata bus moment of today's stream. You hear spiritualists and holistic practitioners talk about being in alignment and divine alignment, and I feel so aligned and everything is in alignment, and it's alignment, right? And alignment is great. Alignment is beautiful. It means that you're on the right track. It means that there is nothing blocking your path. It means that even with challenges, they're the right challenges for you to overcome. They're necessary ones to grow you, so you can continue doing the things that you are here purposed to do. So when you hear misalignment or not an alignment, we might start to think, "Oh my goodness, and that means something's wrong." No, nothing is inherently wrong with misalignment. It is a communication. It is a signal. It's a time to check in, letting us know, "Hey, wait a minute. If you want this, if this is your goal, you have to address this and get some congruence here. You need to find some alignment because your thoughts and your heart, they're not aligned, right? Or your actions and your intuitive nudges, they're not aligned, right? Where your heart and your thoughts and your actions are, then none of that shit is aligned. So we're giving you this signal of feeling all confused, aka misaligned, to let you know that you need to do something about this. It's only wrong if you keep ignoring it and don't check in. But don't worry, baby, because if you keep ignoring it and don't check in, all we're going to do is send you another situation that reminds you, reflects back to you, to your internal world, reflecting back to you in your external world, that you are out of alignment. Okay? That's all that's going to happen. It's going to be another situation, and another one, and another one. And you keep thinking that you're being punished. And you keep thinking that you're being punished. The things happening in your life are being done to punish you. That's not what's happening. You keep closing around the fear and not allowing it to escape so that you can ascend through these levels of consciousness.